Look at Blue. Totally knows what's coming. They all do. You guys are silly. How big she's getting. I wish you'd eat more. You're kind of outgrowing your body, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's all right. We can work on that. We can work on that. Taters. Seriously, brother. And you're the only one with the cockerburrows on your head. Look at that. What is the deal? What's the deal? So if you missed yesterday's video, sorry for the bucket noises. We took the grain cart down to Southside Feed and we got us some bulk feed. That would be 2,500 pounds for less than $400. I mean, everybody knows you buy bulk feed. I shouldn't have to talk you guys into it. Everybody knows if you can do it, which means you got to have a grain cart. And it takes a little bit for the grain cart to pay for itself, but eventually it does. And it's just like, you save so much money on feed, man. It's just ridiculous. Oh goodness. Don't worry, we got chickens. I'm also gonna see if I can get that chute off the back of it. It's about 8 feet high. It'll go under the lean-to, but I'd love for it to kind of be on the outside of the lean-to, if that makes sense. So we're gonna work on that today. I'm gonna get that off of there. It should just unbolt. We've also got to get this thing back on its stilts. Taters, get your foot. Taters, you got poop in there, man. You got poop in it. Look, let me see. Let me see. Oh my goodness. Taters, you're a mess. You're a mess, man. Yeah. We got to get it up off the ground so they quit putting their feet in it. That's a good way to spread some stuff right there, man. Hang on. That's another project. I think I've got some self-tappers. And actually, well, there's already holes in it because there were screws holding it down. So let's look into that. Big pig. What in the world possess a pig to lay on their own pee and poo and horse pee and poo? Goodness. Yeah, they like that stuff. Izzy got her own bowl. She likes it on the ground though. That's how she likes it. And she ain't gonna get all that. It's not that much. It's like maybe, gosh, half a pound. It just looks like a lot. I'm zoomed way in. There's a little bit more in this one. Oh good. Who's that? Who dat? Looks like a baby. Good morning. Good morning. What's you doing? Want some food? Want some food? Hi, little one. Good morning. How's that stuff? That the good stuff right there? That the good stuff? Oh, baby tinkle. We like baby tinkles here. Sorry if it's weird. Good morning. My goodness. Amen, amen, right? Well, I want to go ahead and park this underneath the lean-to, but we got to get this hopper off of here. Or I guess this would be the hopper, this is the chute. I could just cut it, but it should unbolt. And we got these fancy schmancy, oh my goodness, they're not even locked up. Got these fancy schmancy square nuts on here with some old crush washers. This thing's pretty cool, man. Now this looks, I don't know that would hold anymore or not, but you can always replace that. But the 3 bolts I got to get off of there are seized up, and I've given them a pretty good whatever. This is also full of dirt. This is the clean out, and it actually still works. I wonder, it sounds full to almost, yeah, it's got sediment in it right here. Man, I don't know. Let me try and take this off. I don't want to cut it. I'd almost prefer to like get this off of there whole and then use it somewhere, like just put it up somewhere as decoration. Well, so I almost learned a lesson the hard way, the really hard way. Why I didn't think that that grain was just leaning on go sitting down here, I don't really know. But yeah, if we unbolt that, all the grain's gonna come pouring out that hole. Now it may not rush out like a feed door, but it's gonna come out. I'm gonna have to cut it because in order to keep it dry, I wanna put it underneath the lean-to. I mean, I could put a tarp on it, I guess, which is what the old boy did before me to salvage it. But I will say this, if I ever wanted to use it, leaving it as is easier than unbolting it and bolting it back on. So cutting this chute is literally just cutting a piece of pipe in half. So I think that's what I'm gonna do, because that's super easy. I mean, you can carry that and we can just relocate it for the time being. But yeah, if I take that off of there, we're gonna need a cap on the front of that auger. Boys and girls, there comes a time in your life when you gotta admit defeat. Some Google searching, this thing used to unbolt until they welded it all together. And now it is one giant arm that is all connected. And of course it runs to the auger. And I knew when I got in here, there would also be an auger, and I figured I could just pull it out. But it's apparently welded to that pin, because I have actually bent this back so far that we're losing grain out the bottom. And I've bent it back so far that I was able to pull on the auger in there, and it ain't coming out. It's not coming out at all. Then I tried to put this back up in here, but because it's all shifted on me now and I got grain pouring out of there, finagling it back and forth and trying to get back in this track, I just lose more and more grain because this thing ain't gonna sit square now. And I'm also fighting the actual PTO shaft because it's connected, which I could probably pop that off, but I'm not gonna lose much grain. It's not pouring out, but it is coming out, if that makes sense. Look, we're just gonna pretend that where this thing is gonna go is where we wanted it to be. Hang on a minute. I haven't quite figured it out yet, because without getting that hopper off of there, I don't think it's gonna fit under the lean-to anywhere. Let's go hook up to it and see what other damage we can do. All right, so the good news is we're not losing any grain as we drive. But man, I'd love for it to be underneath this lean-to here, but I don't know why I care if it's underneath it. I mean, we could put a tarp on it, like a waterproof tarp, and then we could put a canvas top on top of it, like a waxed one, and it'll be just fine. So maybe we need to just go stick it back there where the tractor is, like way back there. I don't know, it's just awfully convenient getting grain right here. Like if we get a foot of snow, it's gonna stink getting grain out of there. I know I can cut that auger shaft. Like I've got the tools to do it. What I'd like to do is get this off of here because it's just a nuisance. And then you can see where I took those bolts out. Now there actually weren't bolts in here. They had like this band clamp. They had one of those on here. I would use this one, but I don't think it's the right size, and it is a nightmare. You can see we already tried getting it off of there. I guess I can unbolt this, give myself a little more room. But in reality, I want this off of there. Here, let me show you something too. This actually had a tarp on it. That's how the old boy stored it, which is why he put these extenders on here. And then he put the, look like bowed 2x10s. So he put a tarp on there. So when it rained, the tarp would run the water off. And he just had it like bungeed down here to these holes. So it's still doable. Not all is lost. I just got to figure it out. It's just not as easy as I had anticipated. This is the most judgmental little stair you've ever seen in your life. If I can get that off of there, I can get some nuts and bolts and at least fashion this so we're not losing grain out the back, which we're not. I didn't lose any when I was driving, and it was certainly bouncing around enough to lose some. Ideally what I'm after, and I need to go get a blade to cut that off of there. And then ideally what I'm after is I want to back this in right there, or maybe even pull it sideways. Now we'll still put a tarp on it because I don't have guttering on this side. But yeah, if this was right here, that would be amazing. I don't know if they ever came with covers. I have no idea. I mean, it's just called a gravity wagon. Right out of 1968. Somebody actually found like the original owner's manual for it and sent it to me. But you can still order some of those parts, man. It's ridiculous. But everything's, I say everything, a lot of things are square nuts and bolts. Look at this. It's a pretty cool piece of equipment. I mean, to be honest. She's wearing a little thin in some spots, but nothing you can't tack on or figure something out. But I mean, heck, this panel is essentially replaceable because all you got to do is undo the nuts and bolts. You could replace that whole panel. But I hate to paint it right now. I mean, if we get a couple years out of it, that's cool. I'll be honest, we could go buy a new one, but this one's already got 2,500 pounds of grain in it. So, and I cut my auger shaft, so we can't even auger it if I went and bought a new one. Finn, come here, buddy. See, June has started coming in here every single time. We don't want her in here. Hi, bub. You got to get your lovely sister friend out of here. She's not going to go on her own, though. She'll sit here the whole time. That did it, bub. Hang on. Hang on. Stankers. Woo. Dude, what I'm going through for you, man. My goodness. Is that good? Is that good, bub? It's a good boy. It's a good boy. Says, don't touch me while I'm eating. Big Willow. Big Willow. Woo, she's laying in the sun. You're laying in the sun. Good sir. Oscar, get the mouse. Get that mouse. Get it. What's say, bub? It's up all night barking. Whew. A tough job. Well, I left Finn back there with the door open to kind of fend for himself. And so far so good. He's in there eating. The others either haven't noticed the doors open or they're content with the pellet feed I gave them. MJ is approaching Finn's food bowl. I'm not sure what he's eating, but he's pretending. There ain't nothing on the ground right there. He's just trying to let Finn know he's there without getting thrown out. They'll be all right. I'm pretty sure there's hardly any left. Did you have a long night? Did you have a long night? Goodness. Goodness. How was your night? Sleeping on a memory foam mattress next to Cabela's. So pretty. Just pretty dog. One thing that's good about these 20-degree temps we got coming is everything's gonna die, from bugs to weeds. I'm excited about it. I told him I'd find ways to use this thing nobody else had. Whew. All right. Huge shout out to you guys. Remember when I mentioned I needed the yeah. Remember when I said I needed that knob on my steering wheel of my this hat of my tractor? You guys sent me 2 of them. And the third, America. So I'll be sure and get those on there. But as promised, I also got some self-tappers to put the poly tub back inside the trough for the cows, inside that one. So let's go put those in there. And then I got a tarp. It's not a heavy duty, but it's big enough, I think. That, hang on. I only got a 6x8. We're gonna learn together whether that tarp's big enough or not. I can't get over this hat because I can't see right here. Oh man, I'm gonna put the tarp on. I got some bungee cords. First, let's do the poly tub inside the trough. Here we go. Another chore I need to do is I need to mount our gate right there, or our lock, if you will. What's up? Did you guys come to say hi? Did you come to say hi? Blue. No, we already ate. We already ate. We already ate. All right, let's see if this fits here. Oh yeah, that'll do. So I got a couple sizes because you can never have enough self-tappers. Thank you, Allie. Forgot what that sounded like since this morning. But let me zip, these were, the 5/16 were a little bit too small. They wouldn't grab the hole in here. So we're gonna use these, what are they? 3/8, just to size up. All right. Listen, no jumping in the trough. Got it? No jumpo, trough-o. Taters. And in the interest of saving money, let's put a medium-duty tarp on our grain cart here to protect our investment, boys and girls, okay? Let this be a lesson. This is how we protect our investments. It barely fits. It's like, this thing is basically 6x6, and I bought an 8x6. But inside measurements are like 5'10" by 5'10". So she just barely fits. Now it'll serve its purpose as long as the wind doesn't blow. But yeah, I know, right? As long as the wind doesn't blow, think about that. So the good news is I'm gonna try and find a perfectly like 8x8 tarp, or like a 7x. Do they make square tarps? Like what's with all the 6x8 and 10x10 or 10x20 and ain't nobody covering, is nobody covering things up that are square? It's perfectly 6x6. I got to find me a 6x6 tarp. So I know how you guys are, and I know you adore and love me. If you find one, send me a link. But if you were to send me one, I'll have it before it arrives. Does that make sense? So email me a link if you find one. But I was going to get a canvas, but even though the canvas are like more rigid, they're not near as waterproof. They're UV resistant, waterproof, yada yada. So yeah, now we're gonna see if we can back it in right here without bringing down the whole lean-to. See the top of it? It's not going to hit, right? I'm not trying to give up, but I'm kind of okay with this.
Yeah, I mean, it looks fine. You can't really straighten it up anymore. You can't straighten it up anymore.
I can't, or is that a challenge?
I mean, you could try. Straighten it then.
If you were here, they all know this is where it'd be.
Yeah, I'm aware.
So you're here, so I don't have to move it until January.
Uh-huh, come on. That's perfect. So much better.
Can't go any closer.
Yeah, you're
One thing we gotta watch too is need a block. I don't think the jack's original, but it's so old that last night, having all that feed in it, it pressed all the grease, all the hydraulic oil out of the jack. So like this morning I came out and I had to use a skid steer to lift it to let the jack down. Right there, so I drive away, it may shift a little. Looks all right, doesn't it? I mean, if we got it stuck under there, all we gotta do is wait like a month and all the air will be out of the tires and then we can get it out of there because it'll be 2 inches lower. Yeah. All right. I think this will get us through at least one more winter. Like, I have no idea how much feed we actually feed. Like, I don't know, 2,500 pounds should go like all winter. Let's say say I give them 25 pounds a day, and I give them 25 pounds a day. That's 50 pounds a day. That's 50 days. That's not that much. That's not that many days. There's no way that doesn't last that long. Yeah, we're all going to learn together how far this goes. And remember, we're kind of overfeeding the steer pasture right now because of Princess and Blue. And I want Taters to have some too, but we're kind of overfeeding them. We're also overfeeding Finn, like a lot. Well, not overfeeding him. He's supposed to have anywhere between, I think it was 6 to 14 pounds of that food a day. And he's getting every bit of it. So eventually we won't have to feed that much. But it serves its purpose. We're not worried about it. I'm going to give me an 8x8 tarp. I was telling him, I don't understand. They make round tarps because we got one on the pool. But they don't make a square tarp. It's either rectangle or round. Well, even shade cloths are triangles. Where's the love for the squares?